Hello and welcome to the GBC. That's an internal joke for Nash because he's not here able to do this today. But we're here with Reid Vander Veen, a fractional CMO, marketing guru, Aronia berry harvester, grower, farmer. Reid is everything I wish I was, and so
Careful.
very excited to be talking with him today. We're going to cover Ruffland. We'll have a tour of their facility, and that covers a lot more in depth. But today we want to get to know kind of the man behind a lot of the things that you do. And I know you're a humble person, so I don't expect you to be like heck yeah. But Reid, kind of give us the Reid Vander Veen story. You know, if you met me and I said, hey, how'd you get to where you are today?
Yeah, great question. So when I first meet people, I usually tell them I'm a fractional CMO, and they kind of look at me funny.
Yeah.
And I just say it's kind of like a fancy way to say marketing director for rent. So I've spent my career in sales and marketing, kind of really every facet, from small companies, startups, to publicly traded companies, in a variety of different marketing related roles or business development, sales related roles. And that's led me ultimately now to be a fractional CMO, which found me here at Roughland, where I've now actually converted and switched over to be full-time, kind of a standard W-2 employee for Roughland. But I have a big passion for the outdoor space. So hunting, fishing, shooting, backpacking, camping, anything like that. Anything you can do outside is really my favorite thing. So when I was going through all these different career phases and steps, got connected with a lot of people in the outdoor space, and started to do contract work for them on different marketing related things. And that led me down the consulting path full time for a period of about 3 years before switching full time to Roughland. But yeah, I love it. Anytime you can be in that intersection between passion and profession, I think is a really, really magical place. And that's what the fractional role allowed me to be, and find clients like Roughland and different outdoor companies that just feel like home. It doesn't really feel like working. So that's a lot of fun. I don't buy into the whole idea of like, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I don't quite go that far, because work's hard. You got to work with people, production, all these different things that you're managing. But when you get to when your professional career takes you to a place where you get to run around with dogs and hang out and go hunting and promote really cool products like that, it does make it a lot easier. That's for sure.
So the fractional CMO thing, I don't think anybody in the Midwest really understands what that is. I know you said marketing director for rent, which is a great way to put it, by the way.
Yeah.
But how did you come up with, maybe not come up with it, but get to that point where you're like, I could make this and be successful at it?
Yeah, so I had over the period of about 8 to 10 years, I was working with a bunch of different brands. I was working with a few different agencies, and I'd help on a variety of different, sometimes creative things, sometimes more strategic things, sometimes production and logistics, like planning. And it really provided a broad spectrum of like all the different things that you kind of classify as marketing related work.
Yeah.
And what I found was, at a lot of small and medium-sized businesses, they had people that would have what I'd call the curse of high performance. So you'd have a CEO that is just could think really high level, but very distracted by trying to run the business and handle operations and people and staffing. And then they'd have a small amount of space that they could set aside for marketing related stuff, but they weren't giving it the full attention that it should deserve, or that it could hold. So I started working with clients like that and said, hey, I can help you. I can step into this role. We don't need to do it on a full-time basis. I'll commit a portion of my time to really take this chunk or this scope off of your plate, whether that's lead generation or helping manage vendors and clients and things like that, or building a new website, the type of work that I don't do myself, but I can help manage a lot of the resources to do that, or help set some strategic direction and say, hey, you will have these goals. We're going to go down. We're going to create this roadmap, this path, this plan, and we're going to go execute on that, and then help them along the way. So it kind of happened organically. Started talking to the right clients and said, hey, we'd really like for you to help a little bit more than you are now.
Yeah.
And it was just a matter of walking through an open door and seeing what was on the other side, and that led me down the path of doing the consulting thing.
Love it. So you as a fractional CMO and moving more into actual full-time with Roughland, what would you say the number one lesson you learned along the way is from a business standpoint?
Wow, that's a big question. Number one lesson.
We leave it open-ended for a reason.
So I have a couple like.
You've dropped some great one-liners, and so I'm just like, if he's got those, he's probably got another one.
I've got a few kind of like core foundational beliefs when it comes to marketing related things. I've said one of them already to you, but customer's opinion is the only one that matters. And I say that to founders and CEOs and other C-level folks once in a while, and it can rub people wrong sometimes. But in this day and age, customers have unlimited access to information. They can go get an opinion about you, your brand, your product, your company, your people, anything they want. They can go find it all online or through articles, through blogs, through reviews, wherever. So we no longer really get to gate information. It's hard to keep secrets anymore. So people have access to information. They'll decide what they want. Because of that, the customer's opinion is the only one that matters. Big difference between that and the customer is always right. But we have to make sure that we're keeping in mind that customer's opinion is the only one that matters. The other kind of core foundational belief system I have when it comes to marketing especially is that it's all an experiment. Nonstop, all day, every day, all marketers do is experiment, good, bad, or otherwise. We experiment on people, right? Like our laboratory is the real world. So when you start really diving into like the psychology of human behavior and how people interact one-on-one versus how they interact on social media where there's a large audience, and start diving into stuff, Google's going to change their algorithm 13 times before you and I are done having this conversation today. So like, just because something worked 2 weeks ago doesn't mean it'll work today. Just because something didn't work last year doesn't mean it won't work perfectly today because of factors that are changing constantly. So I like to tell people it's always an experiment. Now you kind of get a few things that tend to repeat themselves, right? Like there are certain practices we can do. If I run a promotion, if I run a coupon or a discount or something, we'll get people to respond to that. But, other than that type of stuff, like it's all just an experiment constantly, all day, every day. So I tell people all the time, if you have a marketer that comes into your office and tells you, I know exactly what you need to do, you got to run this type of ad, we've got to be on this platform, it's like, I'd be a little bit leery of them because they might have a case study of 1 or 2 data points, but for whatever reason or a multitude of reasons, those might not be relevant to you, and don't take anything as gospel.
So what you're saying and what I'm hearing is you're a direct, honest person about what you've experienced.
I try to be. I try to be ridiculously candid with my clients typically, and with the team here at Ruffland too. It's like, look, we're going to try this. Here's our hypothesis. This is what we think might happen. But might go over great. Might go better than expected. We might fall flat on our face and get back up and do it over again.
So why do you think business owners, people in marketing chairs or CEO chairs, small and medium businesses, is it a lack of like being in tune with what's going on in the marketplace because they're so focused on the business? Or what do you think the reason is that they don't maybe take those kind of opinions more? Because we meet with a lot of small, regional, medium businesses. I'd say, this is probably in that medium category for sure with the amount of employees and product. But a lot of them, they're like, they want somebody that's candid, but they struggle to maybe listen to the candid because it's not the answer they like.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say everybody's a little different, but some people have their comfort zone is very comfortable, right? So you have that you're working against, and then you also have past performance. You've got some of these.
Real quick, would you say, I think my belief is it comes from marketing 15 years ago when they started the business was, we're going to put an ad in these things because this is where the audience is. Whereas today, the audience is, like you said, it's the algorithms changed 13 times in the 10 minutes we've talked. And so it now changes instead of being able to put out an ad with a theme and a bunch of energy, you've got to have 40.
Yeah, I think
it's a pace we can't really handle as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think there's probably really just a couple, maybe 2 or 3 reasons that people struggle with this. Is number one, past performance. We've always done it this way. This has worked in the past for us, especially with those legacy employees that have been there for 15, 20 years. We used to do this and it would work. Well, let's try it again. So you've got that. You've also got just personal preferences. I think a lot of the time what you'll have happen with either a big personality or a role of authority or influence within an organization is they'll behave as if their preferences are everyone's preferences. This is what I'm most comfortable with as a consumer or as an executive or as an employee, whatever it might be. These are my preferences, so it makes sense that everybody would respond or feel the same way. So I think you have that a lot too. I would say those are probably a couple of the bigger ones.
Yeah. Take us behind maybe the marketing hat, more of a passion. Tell us about Aronia berries.
Aronia berries, man, you're gonna put me on a pedestal here. I get a little excited. So my wife and I planted about 9 years ago. We planted 10,000 Aronia bushes. They are like most people just refer to them as like a superfruit or a super berry. Incredibly high antioxidants. They're crazy good for you, essentially. They are anything that you would take a different berry for. The Aronia berry is probably better at that thing than that berry. So a classic example is a cranberry. A lot of people know cranberry for like urinary tract infections or prostate health or whatever it might be. The active ingredient, and I'm pretty sure this is true, I used to know the research better, but the active ingredient in that cranberry that makes that the case, there's actually something like 3 times the amount of that in an Aronia berry. So my joke is always that the cranberry just had a better PR firm, right? So, but the Aronia berry is a very big, bold flavor. It looks identical to a blueberry, grows in a nice hedgerow on a bush, but it tastes like whatever you think the opposite of a blueberry tastes like, that's what it tastes like. They're not sweet, they're rather tart. So most people have a love-hate relationship with them. There's very little middle ground. You either love the berry or you don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got a lot of them on our farm.
That's really cool. So you've got the Aronia berries. You've done a lot of marketing work. If you're talking to, do you have kids?
I have 4 kids.
4 kids. Are they teenagers?
8, 6, 5, and 3.
All right, so you're in my world. So I keep thinking about the future of, especially with AI and where businesses have gone.
Yeah.
And how quickly, I just did test the other day, a friend of ours had an idea for an app, a game app.
Okay.
And I'm like, let's just see if we could pull this off ourselves. 0 coding experience.
Yep.
And with AI and a little help of like how to, within 2 hours, we had a functional wireframed like actual game that we could turn into an actual game.
How
right?
cool was that?
It's awesome. But at the same time, it's terrifying.
Absolutely.
Because everybody would get, certifications and go to years and you get this specialty. And so to the young person out there that's, maybe in that 16 to 20 range that's trying to figure it out, maybe 16 to 25, trying to figure it out, like what would you tell them based on your knowledge today?
Boy, I would say probably more than ever, like there's no single path. And what I mean by that is I think it's great to obviously work hard in school, get good grades, get into a good college, get scholarship if you can, that type of thing, and find that thing that you're passionate about and just run fast for it. I think the barrier to experiment and to try different things is so low anymore that maybe you do want to try coding, or maybe you do want to use some of these different like high-tech stuff that can allow you to build websites or launch a new business or whatever it might be, your game app, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
To dip your toe in that world is a lot less risky and a lot less expensive than it used to be. So I would say don't be afraid about experimenting. Again, back to my everything's an experiment comment, but don't be afraid to try stuff. And if you don't like it, great, move on, because to switch into the next thing is so much easier than it used to be.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice for the kind of the adolescent or young adult is, I have the utmost respect for people that find that thing that they love and they, find that career, that position, that company that they love and they stick with it. That's awesome. Like that's pretty rare. That's really honorable thing. But at the same time, if you want to go do production for a while, go be on the shop floor. And if you want to switch to the office and do something with the books, accounting, marketing, HR, I mean, it's not that difficult to get a quick education on some of that stuff and be pretty capable in a short amount of time.
I'm going to flip it for you.
Okay.
What about the 55 to 65-year-old that is like, oh crap, I still got to work for another 10 or 15 years? and they're like, their job is either getting eliminated or, because of the amount of roles and hats people can wear today. What would you say to that person?
I would say, I mean, in a way, my answer is identical. If you're willing to, uh, not necessarily humble yourself, but if you're willing to take on the position of a student and be like, look, I'm going to learn stuff. I kind of maybe thought I'd have it all figured out by the time I'm in my 50s or 60s, and a few years from retirement.
Yeah.
But if you can approach a new task like a student, and just go into it eyes wide open, open-minded, and say, I'm going to figure this out. I don't think, I mean, for the exact same reasons I just gave, I don't think there's any less odds or less chance that you can be successful and have pretty impressive capabilities in a short amount of time, even at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely the case.
Yeah. Well, I think that audience is kind of getting left behind a little bit as far as like what the market's saying versus what people are willing. But you mentioned one thing there, student, and I would say that's one of the things that a lot of the successful business owners and marketers or anybody in a position that they've had success in has said they continue to learn something or they tried something. I think the Ruffland story of contract manufacturing to turning into like, hey, there's a market shift. We need our own product. Like the ability to want to learn and be a student. Obviously, you with all of your experience, what does it mean to be a student in like everyday life, out of the books? Like, because you got Aronia berries, you've got marketing, you've got you've done work in so many different sectors, but at the same time, you learn about Aronia berries. You don't just go and be like, oh, I saw an article and I'm gonna, just plant some bushes.
Yeah.
Dog training, hunting. You're obviously. I don't think you've coined yourself as an expert in those things, but you've said
Far from it.
But you're willing to like learn and be excited about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for me, that you said it really well. I like to think I'm not. There are certain things that I'm very opinionated on, probably, and can be rigid about certain things. But there's so much to learn and see and experiment with and explore and find out about that. I think if you get tunnel vision and just be hyper focused on one or two individual things, that you have the chance to miss a lot of really cool things out there. So I never thought that I would have as much knowledge as I do on rotationally molded manufacturing as a marketer, but here I am, and it's awesome. You can get excited about it. You can find excitement, I think, in just about anything. But yeah, the Roughland story is just a textbook example of that as an organization that was doing contract manufacturing almost exclusively for agriculture, to turn around and have Doug and Lyle at that kind of that really pivotal time where it's like, man, what are we going to do? Like, landscape is changing. You can either be rigid, hole up, and just kind of hope for the best, or you can adapt and say, hey, let's explore, let's try something, let's just run fast and break stuff, and you land on a product that is absolutely perfect at the right time, the right price point, the right place, on a market that's hungry for it and very underserved. I mean, those two guys are a textbook example of probably in their 40s when that happened, and it's like, look, I never thought that I'd be in my mid 40s trying to launch a new company, but here I am, and now you've got a pretty impressive organization to show for it. So I think there's a lot of opportunity willing to be taken, and again, there's not a perfect script. Try stuff, play around. I mean, that's one of the things that I think is really neat. Not to get real philosophical or religious or whatever, but like faithful guy, and like I imagine myself made in the image of we were created in the image of a creator, and it's like the whole world, like everything's just been created by somebody willing to try something or do something. Who knew dog kennels? Who knew canine accessories, right? But like somebody had to be willing to try and create something, and that's as American of a story as anything. Like, go, you want to do something, go create it, go be it, go figure it out, go do it. Nobody's stopping you anymore.
Amen. At Ruffland Kennels, you believe
every dog deserves to travel safe and express their personality or their owner's personality while they're doing it.
Perfect. One piece of business advice you don't agree with.
Oh boy. One piece of business advice I don't agree with. I hate the advice, like, fake it till you make it. Like, humble yourself. Like, just be willing to be that guy on the bottom of the totem pole. Like, be willing to show up first, stay late, do the simple job, sweep the floor, do whatever. Like, fake it till you make it's biggest crock there is.
That is my favorite piece of advice that has been debunked. So thank you for that.
You bet.
I have not heard that one yet. Number one color of kennel at Ruffland.
Oh boy, this is
Your
like
favorite.
fighting word. My favorite.
Your favorite.
OD green.
OD.
I'm a yeah. Everything of mine is OD green. I wear OD green. My kennel is OD green. My chow box is OD green. My water hole is OD green. Everything's OD green.
What about the customers? What do the customers say?
The bold, like, bright colors are really popular. Hot pink, purple, lime green, sunflower yellow, Malibu blue is an absolute monster. The bigger, brighter, the better. Patriotic red and patriotic blue crushes in the summer around 4th of July.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Noted. All right. Number one family pastime for Reid Vander Veen.
Being at the lake, which also is really close to our hunting ground. So I'm gonna take a 2-for-1 on that. But yeah, we love going to the lake and going out hunting.
Okay. If you weren't a fractional CMO and or marketing officer and or Aronia berry connoisseur, what would you be doing?
Boy, I love teaching. I actually teach at University of Sioux Falls. I do a couple of master's courses there, so I love teaching. I would do something like that, or coaching. If it wasn't for that, I think maybe like a psychologist, like just nerding out on how people's brains work. I really get excited about that quirky, weird stuff.
All right, and the number one dog breed in Reid Vander Veen's opinion is?
Labrador, no question.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is there a office consensus on what it is?
No way. No, we have a lot of different breeds in the office, and I would probably get punched if other people heard me say that. So we have a lot of different dogs in the office.
Last one. Your favorite memory or a top memory that you have of how a Ruffland kennel directly impacted somebody's life?
Oh man. We get a lot of like crash testimonials. There have been some that have been really intense where like rollovers, and the extra support from having a pair of kennels in the back of the car is the only thing that kept the roof from collapsing on that family. So not only did it keep the dog safe, but it actually added additional like vertical support to that vehicle. So when it was on its top or rolling, that it actually braced it and kept the roof from completely crushing families. There's more than one of those. Those are pretty intense to see. I mean, you get really happy, obviously, that everybody's okay and walks away from it. But it's like, man, those are scary to look at. There's a lot of different crash testimonials like that. That's
awesome. Well, we appreciate you sitting down and doing this interview. If you could leave with, if there's anything you could say to somebody out there that, you know, might be in a position of either growth or maybe it's family or faith related or whatever it is there, or your college kids, you know, master's level program, what do you say? What would you say?
Boy.
And if you want to sing the Mr. Rogers, you know, outro, we're okay with that too.
I would just say, like, there's no requirement. We'll put it this way. There's zero requirement to grow up. So sometimes we got to act like grown-ups. We have to be adults. We got to get work done. We got to take things seriously. But there's no point in rushing your life away to go punch a clock and do something you don't enjoy or be with people you don't enjoy just because you got a degree in something. If that's not, you know, where your passion lies. Passion alone won't get you many places, but if you can package that passion with some hard work and a humble attitude and a willingness to learn and figure things out, and I don't know, I hope I can model that to my kids, truly. Like, I think that's a big part of the reason why I was self-employed for as long as I was, is I just wanted to show that there's not a single track. Like, you can, if you want to do something, go chase it. You want to be something, go be it. You want to create a company, start a business, or not. If you're just like you just love numbers and you want to put your head down and do the accounting. You want to keep the books clean, and you get like, I love working with people like that just know this is my space, this is my lane, and I'm going to do this the best I can. I mean, there's no perfect path, and there's no reason you can't figure out your own way to do this.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, thank you, Reid, for being
Absolutely.
on.
Thank you.
And we will catch you all next time. Nash will be back.